Hey everybody, Matthew Morris here, Wood Studio, and it's time for another shop update. Well, the biggest, for me at least, update or portion of this update is going to be to tell you guys that I am going to definitely knock on lots of wood around here, work on getting these to you every week. So none of this every couple of weeks or 8 days or 10 days, but I'm going to try to really work on making sure I get these on um, every week. Releasing on Wednesdays, hopefully, and that's what I'm shooting for. So fingers crossed. So what's been going on in the shop? Well, I'm working on two of these Scotch cabinets. This is the last time I am going to do a Scotch cabinet build for a while because I'm filming it this time so that you guys can watch and learn and build them yourself as well. So what I have going on here is two cabinets, both walnut, of course. And what I've done differently in this project than I have in the past that I talked about last week is I've used S2S lumber. I've adjusted the dimensions a little bit in a couple of places to account for the possibility of not getting enough material out of the S2S in order to get the part you need. So I took care of all that. I also have a really nice piece of Wenge back here that is going to be the raised panel for the doors. So it's also all quarter sawn material. I want a nice straight grain, and they had lots of nice quarter sawn S2S walnut where I was at the lumberyard near me. But if you don't have quarter sawn, that's fine too. Regular flat sawn or plain sawn or however you want to refer to it, whatever cuts you want to get rift would be great too, would be just fine. So I got two of these guys here, and let me walk you through really quick where I am so far on this project. So far I have milled up the materials and got my sides and my top, bottom, and shelf to thickness. And then at the router table I've cut all my sliding dovetail joinery, and I left everything a little bit too wide on purpose so that if I had any blowout at the router table I could clean it up on the table saw, removing a little bit of material on each side and then ripping to the final width. So far after that I've cut the grooves or the rabbets for the face frames on the sides of the cabinet, and I'm just about ready to cut the bottom, top, their little notches for the face frames, and then cut the shelves to their final depth or width. So that's what I'll be doing in the coming week, as well as installing the rails for the face frame and mortising in for the hinges. Besides the cabinets, there's some other big news in the shop for me, which is I look a lot brighter now than I've probably ever been for any of these updates. And that's because on both sides of me, I have two softbox light boxes here. And the kit actually came with three, but I don't have room to put three in the shop. So I'm doing two, and the quality of the video is drastically improved. And the color from during the day to at night is pretty much the same. So it's definitely going to improve all the videos going forward. For the table project, I purchased a bit. It's going to be for surfacing the slabs. So here is the bit. It goes into a 1/2 inch collet. It has to, it's just so big. Let me tell you the stuff on it. So cutting diameters 2 3/4 of an inch, and it's a 1/2 inch shank. And this bad boy here is going to surface some slabs for this project. Now, the wood I showed you guys, or I put on Instagram a while ago, the two slabs I pointed out that are back here, the bottom ones, I'm not going to use those for the dining table anymore, because when I was at the lumberyard buying the lumber for the cabinets, I happened about saw these two slabs that they just got in, and they're both supposedly from the same tree, and they are almost flawless throughout their entire length, and they're long enough to pull the table that the customer wants as far as length, and then I'll have enough extra to do the extensions. So I'm really excited about these two slabs. They're up here, and it caused me to have to rearrange the entire lumber rack this week. I also got this guy in, and I have a William Ing Big Daddy bit, and I've had that for years. Probably maybe 5 years now. And he has the top bearing bit. And he sent out an email a couple weeks ago that he was just about to run out of stock on these things, for at least the order that he placed originally. And I just said, what the heck? I swapped a couple emails with him about some other stuff, but I pulled the trigger and I bought one of these guys. And it's a beautiful bit, just like the regular one at the bottom bearing. Same, pretty much overall, I think, height for the cutting. It has 6 flutes just as the other guy, but the bearing's on top. So a lot of the work that I do is pattern routing, or template routing that is, for parts. And I use the Big Daddy bit a lot. And sometimes when using it, this bit is exposed, it's above the wood, and you do your best to keep your hands away because you know that this guy is dangerous. But with the bearing on top, a lot of the operations I do, I can now change where the template's going to be riding, and this guy is going to help make stuff at the router table a little bit more safer for those types of cuts. So definitely worth the investment for me. Now it's February, end of January, beginning of February, and I said I was going to buy another one of these waterstones, and I did in February. So here's the 8,000 grit stone. Remember, I got the 1,000 grit for Christmas. Got the lottery tickets, got lucky, picked up the 3,000, and now I bought the 8, and it's time to start using these guys. So I have a sharpening session coming up with my chisels after I finish this project, and I'll do a video and review these at that time. I've also now been using this mask, this Elipse. I think it's Elipse. Yeah, Elipse P100 dust mask now for, I don't know, maybe a week or two. And I've used it through a whole bunch of milling for these guys, and then doing work at the table saw. And let me tell you, I like this mask a lot. I've gotten over the fact that I don't have the little clip on the bottom like the old mask because it weighs less, it's got better visibility, and so far I have not had any moisture buildup that has come out of the exhaust vent like I did in the old one, where the exhaust vent had to stop and the moisture would build up and come down sometimes, especially if you're sitting and you're milling and you're not just milling, but you're just wearing this for hours and hours and hours on end. At least I would have that issue. So I'm really digging the mask. It's worth every penny, just for the better visibility and the lighter weight while you're working. So definitely a big plus. And if you're looking to get a new mask, you may think about getting one of these. The cost of the mask isn't too much more than the cost of buying filters for the old mask. So, something you got to think about. But really dig it. And that's it for me in the shop this week. I hope you guys have a great week in the shop. Looking forward to bringing you another update next week. And that's about it. I hope you guys have a great week in the shop. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to check out the website, mmwoodstudio.com, and follow me on Instagram at mmwoodstudio as well. So, see you guys next week.